morning, boys and girls. My name is Fire Inspector Marcia Adele, and I'm here to talk to you today about fire safety and prevention. The first thing I want to know is, what's the number you dial in case of an emergency?
911!
Whoa! It sounds like you know the number, but I don't think that was loud enough. What's the number you dial in case of an emergency?
911!
Exactly. 911 is the number you dial in case of an emergency. And when the other person picks up on the phone, it's really important that you have some important information to give to that person. That important information is, what's your address, what's your name, and what is the situation? How many of you know the different kinds of emergencies that there can be? What about a fire? Is that an emergency?
Yes!
What about if someone is really, really sick and they can't wake up? Is that an emergency?
Yes!
And of course, any emergency where you might need the police department. So again, what's the number you'd call in case of emergency?
911!
Exactly. And now you have to make sure that you go over all of the important information with the grown-ups that you live with, like your address, the emergency, and make sure you give them your full name. More important fire safety information is making sure that you know exactly what firefighters look all dressed up. And in just a little while, we're going to have Firefighter Andrew dress up so you're never afraid, and you'll see that Firefighter Andrew is just as friendly when he's wearing a uniform like mine as he is when he has all his gear on to fight a fire and help you stay safe. Part of being safe is making sure that you're familiar with firefighters and what they look like all dressed up in their gear. And we also want to make sure that you know that whenever you see a firefighter dressed up in gear and they're there to help you, you can always go towards them. Firefighters have a lot of gear, but Firefighter Andrew right here is just as friendly without his gear as he is with his gear. So help us get him all dressed up, and we'll be able to make sure that you feel comfortable with the way he looks so that you'll never be afraid when he's here to help. So boys and girls, let's get Firefighter Andrew all dressed up. What's the first thing we're going to need to put on Firefighter Andrew to get him ready for a fire?
Boots!
His boots. We're going to get his boots on. He's first got to take off what he usually wears around the firehouse, and he's going to put his big boots on. These boots are extra special because they have something on them to protect his toes. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a few minutes. But what else does he need on? He needs his pants on. See how big these pants are? And they have these really big pockets on the side so that he can reach for any of his small tools in there. And remember those boots that we were talking about? They have special toes, so even if his toes get stepped on, he won't get hurt. He needs to put his suspenders up, and then he's got to put on his big coat. This coat is also extra special because it has his name on the back of it. So while he's getting dressed, you'll notice that Firefighter Andrew is still just as friendly as he was when he just had his station uniform on. The next thing that Firefighter Andrew has to put on is his air pack. And it almost looks like a backpack with these big straps. But on the other side of it, he's got a tank full of fresh air. And if everybody took a deep breath in and out, that's the very same air that's in his bottle. When we turn the bottle on, it does make a little bit of a noise. And now he's ready to actually breathe air, but he's not fully dressed yet. The next pieces of equipment are really important to help Firefighter Andrew fight fires also. We have a hood, and a hood is kind of like a hat and a scarf all in one. He's going to put that on, and then afterwards he's going to put his mask on that helps him protect his face. It's all pretty neat and all comes together, but he's still not finished getting dressed. Does he look like he's ready to fight a fire yet? No, he's not ready. He has to protect his head. What does he put on his head to protect it?
His helmet.
There you go. He's going to put his helmet on. And he's going to secure it so it doesn't fall off. And he's going to connect his mask to that bottle of air and then put on the very last thing. How does he protect his hands? What does he do to protect his hands? He needs his gloves on. And now firefighter Andrew is ready to fight a fire. But you wouldn't be afraid of firefighter Andrew here, right? Because he's here to help. Even though he might look a little strange and sound a little strange, you know that firefighter Andrew is there to help. Thank you very much, firefighter Andrew. Let's say thank you.
Thank you.
When you go home today after school, make sure you ask the grown-ups that you live with about where your smoke alarms are. This is what a smoke alarm looks like. It'll be high up on the ceiling, and it's very, very loud when you actually get a chance to hear it. This is what a smoke alarm sounds like. That sound right there lets you know that there's smoke in your home and you need to get to a safe place after you tell the grown-up that you live with. When you get to that safe place and you dial when you get to that safe place, that's where you're going to be dialing 911, and we'll be responding as quickly as we can so that you can be safe. Thank you for allowing me to share this really important fire prevention and life safety information.